care about the well-being. Not enough. We have rules much more about protecting ourselves from what the people are saying than keeping in mind what the people are experiencing. At the end, in our consciousness, in our conscience, in our mind, what should be the main point is what the people are experiencing as to the well-being and the way they can deal with this. And there is another thing which is also very important wherever we are in the business, is the space for being critical, because there is no way to speak about being courageous if there is no space to be critical. To be critical doesn't mean that you are negatively critical. You can be positively critical, constructively critical. Constructively critical means I'm saying what is bad with the intention to transform or to reform it for the better. But the space for criticism, for critical discourse, for critical input within the company, among the workers or among the employees, with the leaders, with the people who are leading the business, it's essential. And we have it even in our tradition. You have people who went to the leader, the Prophet ﷺ, being critical, asking him questions. Is this you or is this the revelation? If it's you, I'm critical. That's wrong. And he was listening to them, much more than some of our leaders, much more than some of our bosses, much more than our fellow brothers and sisters in humanity or in Islam. That's the critical dimension. Last thing that I want to say is all now, so the individual, the companies, and then it comes to the society. We also have to have the big picture. You cannot work in a company that is, in fact, you can be very ethical within, but the company is unethical within the society or in the world, using people, exploiting people somewhere, producing things that are against the human dignity, and then, oh, I'm ethical within. It's very transparent, accountable within. So you have also to ask yourself where you are putting your mind, where you are putting your intention. What are you doing? Because at the end, the companies should be serving noble goals. So this is where we need to also have this in mind and to question the usefulness of the company itself, the usefulness of the product, the usefulness and the way the connection is done. And sometimes here we are lacking this in-depth study when it comes to serving humanity, when it comes to producing goods that are useful, and something that now we know in when it comes to professional ethics. Be careful. It's not only about serving humanity, it's also the way we are treating nature. Because as I said, Al-Khilafah is talking about respecting nature. So we also have to come with the way we are respecting nature, and sometimes the way the multi or transnational corporations are respecting the dignity or not respecting the dignity of human beings. It's in the way we work and in the way we consume things. We are consumerist, or the way we are buying things. This is all about our involvement within the companies and our involvement within the society, in the way we are serving, respecting, protecting nature, or protecting humanity and the dignity of humanity. So this is, as you can see, the big picture. We come to something which is how do we implement this, and it comes to our individual responsibility, and we have to be accountable for that. It's first how we are dealing with this in our life, and then how do we translate this in our way of working and the job with our fellow civil servants and employees, with our the people we live in, the way we are transparent, the way we are being honest, the way we are serving the people, and then the way we are involved in our company. I would say an ethical person, sometimes there are jobs that you cannot do. Simply, it's not ethical per se. You have to question this. But being ethical in an unethical system or company could be a problem. Now, once again, in ethical terms and even in Islamic terms, you are always responsible within the scope of your own responsibility. That's fine and that's true. but you should still be critical as to how the company is working and what is done to human beings. There are some big companies, when you look at them through the tennis players or football players or soccer players, they are nice. At the beginning of the chain, the way they are dealing with human beings is new slavery. You can't just say, I'm ethical in my work. You also have to get the big picture and to be courageous enough to speak out. And it could be in anything, even in any country where you are not able to speak the truth and to say, look, there are things that are going wrong. By the way, there is no country in the world where everything is perfect. Qatar is a society where we have to change many things. And the first thing is not because the West is claiming, but because we are human and we have dignity. The way the workers are treated should be changed. This has to be reformed. And many other things. So, and if it's not heard here, we have to repeat it. The only way is to repeat it in very constructive way. If I want the best for you, let me be constructively critical. But if you want me to be silent for you, you're asking me to act against your future, against the dignity of human being in this country, here or anywhere else. So this is where we have to come with a positive input wherever we are. And this is based on our principles. This is also based on an ongoing process of reforming and improving. And what should be clear in our understanding, at the local level, within your business, within your company, it should start, but never be disconnected from the global picture, the overall picture where we have to serve humanity, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, human beings, men and women, poor and rich, and this is the way we deal with the ethical framework, standing also our dignity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ramadan. We're taking the question and answer session now. There'll be two wireless mics in the hall. We would request you to kindly keep your questions directly related to the discussion. And considering that we're already short on time, so we would like you to make just questions, no comments. If you can kindly respect that, thanks very much. So. Yeah, there'll be a lady here and there'll be a gentleman across this one.
How does ikhlaq interacts or is compatibility with the survival instinct and competition?
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Ramadan. Very intellectual lecture. The problem that you talk about the ethics is very high model. You set a very high model for the regular people who are daily working Muslims. I don't know if they can apply what you just said. Thank you very much. If you can make it simpler.
First one is on an individual level and on a community level. You have visionary people who are good on determining where we're going, and you have people who are really good on determining how we do it. Where comes the ethics and communication between those two? And in global citizenship, is it true that everybody should be good in their field and then I will do good in my field in other country, or should everyone focus on their own country? A third last question is, how do I gain knowledge without losing my identity, and how do I accept others without melting in their values? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Barakallah fiqh, Doctor. Just a quick question. In regards to ethical sort of stance, especially in Europe and Canada, where we have a lot of pressure about not speaking honestly about the Palestinian issue, just wondering what your advice would be as a Muslim who's trying to maintain his ethics and values. Thank you.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. I'm not sure how you're going to remember or track all these questions. One question you mentioned on the innocence and yet being responsible. So I'm just wondering, if you don't know anything, i.e. being innocent, then how can you be responsible for something? So that's one. The other thing is that on ethics, for the most part, I think it's connected with and it's molded by your cultural values as opposed to being connected with any particular religion. Is all religion